When I was in high school, my choir teacher once told me that relationships are like Band-Aids. So be careful who you attach yourself to, and because they take a part of you and you take a part of them. So be careful who you make a connection with, I guess. So I thought it was interesting advice, and I didn't really know whether or not she was talking about romantic relationships. So I applied that to every relationship I've ever had. I have friends all over the world, and it's really corny, but I like to think that there's a part of me that's there with them. Because there's like so many different types of Band-Aids, you know? So my friend Jude is literally the cat's meow. He likes to substitute words for meow all the time. He's like, oh, we had a bottle of wine, meow, meow, meow. Next thing I know, wearing a dress. So we met at the American Musical and Dramatic Academy. We were 18 years old, and we both really loved LA, and that's how we bonded. And there was one time he worked at the Grauman's Chinese Theater. We decided to meet for lunch, and I saw him outside amongst all the tourists looking for me, and I was trying to get his attention, and he couldn't hear me. And like, just instinctually, I just decided to bark. And his eyes, like, he went from like we just connected like through the crowd, because our relationship was just like so special, you know. Our second year of school, we were roommates, and our school decided to hire a non-student RA to watch over us, which was weird because we were a bunch of theater students, and there was only like 50 students in the entire school, so I don't really know how much trouble we could get into. But so they hired this guy, and one afternoon he comes over to introduce himself and inspect our apartment. And he was nice enough. He was this kind of short black guy, middle-aged. So I, introduced myself, and I'm cleaning my room, not really thinking anything of it. And I look over, and this guy, this RA, Tony, he was watching me clean. It was like really, really creepy. So I'm in my room vacuuming, he's in my doorway watching me, and my friend Jude is in the living room watching him watch me. So Tony left, and Jude and a bunch of our friends got really drunk, and I just hung out in my room, writing my journal, listening to Michael Jackson, and I fall asleep. The next thing I know, Jude is in my room waking me up. Jess, I hate Tony, I hate him. I wrote him this letter in your honor. Tony, I do not adjudicate you watching Jess vacuum. Jess is only 19. Splendor festies on people 21 plus. Dude. And then he pointed out this little dog on his stationery, and he said, look, Jess, look, a puppy. And I colored his nose pink just for you, Jess. So my heart was just like filled with so much love because he was coming to my defense. So then he went off to find our friend that's a student RA to give him this letter because it was so important. And so I think about this relationship all the time because Jude now lives in Austin, Texas, and I'm lucky enough just to see him once a year. But I realize that he's like the type of Band-Aid you never take off. Like, it just stays on forever and it's waterproof. And those relationships, when you're figuring out who you are as an adult, they're just so special. So whenever I hear a dog bark or a cat meow, sometimes I like to pretend it's him. Welcome to the stage, Greg.